Hi, it's Halloween Dan here. Just kind of doing a follow-up video, I suppose. It's now the 9th of November and Halloween is over. Very sad times. As you can see, the house, I don't think I actually showed any. I'll try and put some pictures in of what the house looked like with all the decorations up. But we had decorations everywhere, banners and bunting and all kinds of stuff going on. Apart from all of our animatronics and decorations and bits and bobs. And yeah, we had a lot going on for Halloween and it's all gone. Sad times. I put it in the loft only this past weekend. It's all gone away for another year and I'm very, very sad about it. But I have got some good news, which is kind of the follow-up. If you watched one of my previous videos, which I'm not going to lie, no, very few views, but oh well. If you did watch one of my last videos, I spoke about how there was a competition going on in the village that I live in. So I come from a small village where Halloween is a growing thing. Every year more and more people celebrate it, more and more people do displays for it. But it's still not a huge thing. Apart from myself, there's maybe 5 or 6 others that really go all out with animatronics and inflatables and other displays of other sorts, and then everyone else just kind of does pumpkins and things like that, which is fine, which is great. But this year they did, because of COVID and everyone's a bit sad about not being able to properly do Halloween, the village did like it was called the Spooky Spider Trail. The Spooky Spider Trail. And the idea was people who wanted to take part, shops, businesses and people in private homes, got a little spider, displayed the spider amongst their display, their wider display, whether it be a window display or a big display like me, and then people could walk around the village, find the spiders. When they'd found all the spiders, they would win a small prize, and in doing that as well, they all would vote for their favourite display that they'd come across so far. And the good news is, I won! Whee! I mean, like I say, this sounds conceited. I don't mean it to sound conceited. I just mean that it's kind of like shooting fish in a barrel. There wasn't a lot of choice. There isn't much competition as such. Most people had just done a very simple window display, a few stickers or something in the window, a bit of fake cobweb. There was maybe only 5 or 6 others in the whole village that had gone to the sort of level that I go to. And some of them were really good. I liked a lot of them. But I obviously won, and which is great. I'm really happy about that. This sounds corny. I don't do it for any accolade or winning a prize. What I did this year, I'd have done even if there hadn't have been a competition. People say, "Oh God, Dan, you must really want to win." No, actually, I'm not that bothered. If I hadn't have won, I'd have gone, "Oh well, I still enjoyed doing what I was doing. I literally do it for me and my kids, and I love it regardless. It's part of who I am, part of what I enjoy to do." In that sense, I'm happy that it was appreciated. I'm happy that people liked it, and but it's always for me more than it's for anyone else. So that aside, that was really good, really positive. The negatives about this Halloween, well, the negatives are kind of obvious, aren't they? COVID-19 has basically ruined everything that's taken place this year. It kind of half ruined Halloween this year. We couldn't have the adult party the way we would usually have it. We would usually have a lot of people round for a big party, but we couldn't do that. And then the kids party, again, same thing. We'd usually have a huge kids party. I had loads of games that we played, loads of things that we did. I'll put a few pictures on of the things we did. But we could have 2 other kids, 2 kids, and then there was 4, and us made 4, made 6, sorry. So yeah, it was kind of a bit weak. It was a bit lame. But it was the kids who came, the 2 kids who came, and my kids loved it, enjoyed it. We had some dry ice to do experiments with. We had lots of games like Hook the Apple and put Frankenstein's body parts back together. That was a fun game. So yeah, we had a good time. We made the best out of it that we could. The worst part this year about Halloween was the weather. I knew it was going to be. I knew. We live in the UK, the weather is dodgy at the best of times, and it was certainly dodgy all that week. So because of the Spooky Spider Trail we were taking part in, I would usually not put most of my decorations out until maybe literally the day or so before Halloween. I'd put some decorations out. I mean, I started putting out some decorations all the way back in like the first week in October. We had some decorations out. But my main sort of decorations, my animatronics, some of my inflatables, different things, I probably wouldn't put out until either the night of Halloween or literally the day before Halloween. But this year, because of this spooky spider trail, I wanted people and people were going to be coming round throughout the week to see what I had. I wanted to make the best out of it. So I put my animatronics out. If you saw one of my past video, you'll have seen a little preview. We did put more stuff out after that. So there was more out. There was a big skeleton hanging from a window and things like that. So the idea was I had it out all week. It was out all week. But my animatronics, as I'd said as well, they're not really made for staying out in all weathers. So it was kind of a drag, literally, because I had to bring them in every night. I couldn't let them go out if it was too wet or too windy. And guess what it did all week? It was wet and it was windy. The wind was the biggest issue, to be quite honest with you. I put up some tarpaulins at one point to kind of try and cover the witch. I even tried to do it over the dragon, and I built like a little tent for my banjo skeletons, but it didn't work, basically. It kept the witch survived. She was okay under her tarpaulin until one day there was like huge gale force winds which ripped the tarpaulin from the side of the house. Same happened with the dragon's tarpaulin, so I had to scrap the tarpaulins, and I just kind of accepted that they could only go out if it was dry. Luckily, though it did rain most of Halloween day, by sort of lunchtime, the rain had stopped and the wind had dropped enough that I put the witch out, I put banjo skeletons out, and later on when it got dark, I managed to get my dragon out too. So for most of the Halloween evening, from about sort of 5 o'clock till probably about 8, it was perfect weather, Halloween weather, for me to be able to get my animatronics out, and everyone got to see them, and we had loads of people come out to see them, and everyone seemed to really like them and appreciate them, which I was really happy about. I was glad about. So yeah, it went as well as it could go. This year, I'm not gonna lie, it sucked, hasn't it? COVID has taken the fun out of nearly everything, and it nearly did it for Halloween. It felt like an awful lot of work this year for not a lot of gain. It felt like there was a lot going on, and a lot of people had other priorities, other things on their mind. Halloween was very, very low on nearly everybody else's schedule except mine. And although I'm happy I did it, although it was a good year, and although our display turned out how I wanted it to turn out, it was stressful. It was stressful. The weather didn't help. COVID didn't help. No one knew what was going on. There was all sorts of rumours about whether trick-or-treating was going to be made even like illegal at one point, like the government were going to turn around and say you can't trick-or-treat even if you want to. That didn't happen, and everything was done very safely and very professionally, as well as could be done. And generally everyone did as what they were supposed to do. But yeah, it was as good as it can be. It's all over now. It's finished and done. Everything's packed away. Everything's back in the loft. Our pumpkins are still down by the front doorstep because I can't bring myself to throw them away. I really let myself down on the pumpkin front this year. I bought 3 pumpkins, one of which was massive, and I didn't buy any proper candles. Last year I had them properly lit. This year they kind of put to one side a little bit, and I didn't properly look after them. I carved them a bit late. The carving was not as good as I would have usually liked. I didn't even put it on Facebook or take any pictures or anything because I had kind of lost a bit of the enthusiasm for it. I will briefly just show you what my pumpkins look like. They're around by the front door right now. Hope there's no one out here. Just hang on. It's a few days, so they've rotten. They've gone rotten, but I'll show you anyway. So here we've got our first little pumpkin. This was a spider. As you can see, it started to go all mouldy and gross. But yeah, that was a spider. Then we've got your traditional, not traditional, but our creepy smiley face. Yeah, mould everywhere. And last but not least,
you can't really, you can tell, this is our big pumpkin. That is a headless horseman, if you can see. Headless horseman on a horse. Can you see the horse? Throwing a jack-o'-lantern head. So yeah, I hope you can sort of see that. It's obviously better when lit.
They were our pumpkins this year. I was quite happy with how they turned out, but I should have made more of an effort with them, which I didn't do. So anyway, that's basically it. That's Halloween done for another year. Sad it's over and done with. COVID is still bearing down. Christmas is to come. Ooh. But yeah, Halloween lives in my heart day in, day out. It doesn't matter what the time of the year is. I love Halloween, always have done. I haven't told any of you guys this. I've had a tattoo. I've had a Halloween tattoo. I have to describe it that way. That's exactly what it is. I won't show you now. I'll show it in another video when it's properly finished. It should look really cool when it's finished. It looks really cool now, but I won't show it till it's properly finished. I'll do another little video about that. And then Halloween will be with me every day of the year, physically. I can take it with me every time I feel a bit down, or I'm like, oh God, Easter, really? I could just be like, oh, not actually Easter, I quite like Valentine's Day. Someone needs to make a vote. Valentine's Day needs to be scrapped, and we need to have like a second Halloween or something, because Valentine's Day sucks. But anyway, every now and again it'll be Valentine's Day, and I'll just be like, oh, hello Halloween. That's the idea anyway. So yes, I'll show that in a later video. Thank you for being with me through this Halloween season. Thank you if you have watched my videos. Thank you if you have subscribed. And I wish you all the best in the future. Everyone out there in YouTube world, keep safe. Keep doing what you're supposed to keep doing, as much as a pain in the backside as it might be. Let's get through this, and let's make Halloween 2021, which is something I'm already thinking about. Let's make Halloween 2021 the best ever, because there can't be anything worse than this particular situation. So yeah, let's do it. Let's get through this. Let's do it to our best of our abilities. Let's get to the other side of it, and let's make next year the best year ever, hopefully. Anyway, once again, thank you for watching. Keep safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.